Darin Steen here, YouTube coming at you. Yesterday, I got two questions that were the same. And that was one of my subscribers asked, I'm doing the month of Ramadan, and so that means I'm not eating anything during the day. I can only eat before sunrise and after sunset. It's a religious thing. I didn't really know if I wanted to go into it with all the political stuff going on, but you know what? I know that I got a really good friend. His name's Ray Chisty. We've lived with each other. We've worked together. I love this guy, and we've had some talks. And he's I think he's a Pakistani guy, but he's born and raised here, and he believes in our God, but he does Ramadan. So I'm not going to get into who does what. I just want to answer the question to help the people that are doing Ramadan this week of how to exercise smarter and how to maybe eat smarter. So here we go. The question was, how do I change my workouts and how do I change my eating to maybe help myself out? So exercise. Definitely do low intensity cardio. And this relates, I can relate to this because I've done intermittent fasting, which is almost a form of something very similar. It's a form of fasting. And I worked on some nutrition and exercise hacks that really helped. So I do have some insight onto what may help to change your exercise and your food when you're doing something like that or Ramadan. So here we go. Exercise. No high intensity cardio. If you do cardio, low intensity power walking. If you follow me very long, I love low intensity power walking, particularly outside. Protects the joints, and you don't want to do anything high intensity right now because of the nature of your nutrition intake by fasting. Number two, weight training. You should definitely lighten up the weights and utilize my slow go technique. 3-second positive, isometric squeeze, 3-second negative. Really work hard on the breathing of letting the air out. Let the air out with an ah noise. 3-second positive, 1 to 2 second isometric squeeze in the target area, and a 3-second negative. Don't go for those super intense last 2 or 3 reps, but that's going to be more doable than any other form of intense exercise. So you don't have to give up weight training when you're fasting or doing Ramadan, but lower the intensity, lighten up the weights on weight training, and work on your breathing. Because I promise you, if you hit heavy weights hard, do something aggressive, you're probably going to pass out. All right, so that's my my advice on working out, eating. So I would say, I believe some Ramadans, I asked my buddy, what do most people that are practicing Ramadan do? Do they cheat a little bit during the day? He's like, no, this is a religious thing. The point is we do not eat anything, majority of the people doing Ramadan. So a couple nutrition hacks that I think are important is your last meal of the night, in the morning before sunrise and right after sunset. I say get in some electrolytes. If you're not drinking water during the day, get in some electrolytes, like a Gatorade would be a cheap one, or an Extend from Skivation. My company, Isogenics, has one. It's a little bit higher quality, less cheap sweets, but there's some sodium, there's some electrolytes, and there's some good quality sugars in there. Definitely want to get that in. Hopefully you're not going to be in an environment where you're sweating during the day. If you're not taking in water during the day, that's going to be a big problem. So that's another reason why low intensity exercise fits into working around the Ramadan or the intermittent fasting or any kind of fasting strategy. I would say if it were me, I would try to eat 3 to 4 times throughout. Well, maybe not because you're sleeping. So maybe 2 medium-sized meals right when the sun goes down, and then about 2 to 3 hours later, a medium-sized meal. Try to get in some healthy fats. Try to keep the starchy carbs a little bit low. So when you wake up, obviously, you don't want to wake up too many hours before sunrise. So maybe wake up an hour before sunrise and have a light meal. And I would say right at sunrise, right before sunrise, I would take in like a coffee with some butter in it, some ghee, some MCT oil. And that's going to be sort of like, it's going to give you some healthy fats. It's going to be more nutrient dense because you're going to need calories to get through your day. You have to work, you have to do something, and if you're going to work out on top of it, so we're trying to get in as many calorie-dense macronutrients in the evening as possible. So those are just some ideas. I will recap them down in the comment section below. If you got some questions on this, comment below. If you know someone that would benefit from this, share it with them. And I definitely, you know what? I feel like this is the best time in the history of the world where things are better. So my vision is, and a lot of people that I hang out with would love to see us come together, whether you're Muslim, whether you're US, whether you're Pakistani, it doesn't matter, Jewish. And you know what? I think we're doing better because 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, they were ripping people's heads off all day long. Watch Mel Gibson in William Wallace in Braveheart. I mean, they were murdering people. You know, if you didn't agree with them, they were trying to enslave people, indentured, you know, killing. Indians got ravaged by the Americans going across the USA. You get the deal. Today is a better day. We're making progress. So don't dwell on the ISIS stuff and the negativity of that stuff. We're doing a lot better. Let's go forward. And the vision is that we can all live and conserve this Mother Earth and just keep growing in a better direction. I love you. Comment below, ask some questions about fasting or Ramadan, on more effective hacks for exercise and nutrition and hydrating yourself. I love you. You do have the power to change to make the rest of your life the best of your life.